In today's video, I'm going to give a raw, relatively uncut, step-by-step roadmap on how to do more with your life, essentially. And when I say more, I don't mean more activities and just doing more unique things and more different things. What I really mean is learning how to take full advantage of the time that you do have, how to prioritize the things that actually matter in life, how to decide what actually matters in your life and what's actually going to move the needle forward, and how to utilize and be efficient with your time to get a year worth of results in 1 month, so to speak. Growing up, I was always somebody that got very distracted between new endeavors, whether it was like starting different businesses or discovering new habits or just things that interested me. I was always bouncing between different things. And if you're a creative or a creator or an entrepreneur or someone who just wants to start a business and maybe isn't quite there yet, that's probably something that's quite relatable, because I think that's something that's very easy to fall into, or a trap that's very easy to fall into when you are an ambitious person. Simply being, you expect more out of yourself and you want to do more than what is expected of you. And because of this, you're always looking for like the next and newest thing. The problem with this, of course, and obviously, as you've probably figured out, is that it stops you from making real progress towards anything. And you might learn a little bit and may find a little bit of success in a lot of things, but you will never really scratch the itch that you are trying to itch. And you'll never really find the success that you are so badly searching for. And what really clicked for me, and obviously I'm about to go over this, but the big thing that clicked for me was finding and deciding out what really mattered to me, understanding my like high priority, my time priority, and how to actually accomplish those things has been basically what has allowed me to like transform my life in the last 2 years and accomplish everything that you guys have seen online. And so today I just want to basically run down and give a full breakdown as to how I went about that and how you can copy this exact same thing for yourself. This is not some fluffy advice. This isn't some time block your day or buy back your time or whatever. This is genuinely exactly what I have done and what I do still to this day to basically achieve incredible results from really not much more effort, if that makes sense. I'll explain it in a minute. But yeah, let's jump into this. So basically the way that this is going to work is you're going to break down, or we're going to go through 4 different levels of actually achieving and doing more. We're going to start at the top, which is basically going to be setting priority, writing down a list of high priority things. Then we're going to break down into time priority activities. And then we're going to go to actually task blocking and making sure you're doing these things. And then the last thing, which is the most specific part and arguably the most important, which is taskable goal setting, which is basically how you're going to know that you're making progress and how to continuously make progress and not just tread water and feel stuck, which is probably how you feel right now. So let's jump into it. The first thing that you want to do is take out a piece of paper or open up the notes app in your phone. Literally, you can do this right now. And I want you to write down everything that you want to do. This can be business like success. This can be personal achievements. This can be learning a new language or reading 100 books. I don't really care, but essentially you want to make a list of 6 to 10, maybe a little more than 10 at the most, of things that you hold very highly on your list of things you want to achieve. An issue that so many people run into is, they think that they really want to do certain things, when in reality, it's just like the flashy object syndrome, right? Like you have no idea that something exists. Then someone you look up to or someone that you think is cool or whatever has something or does something, and then suddenly you think that you need it, and then you just subconsciously add that to this never-ending list of things you need to do, which just adds more unneeded stress and anxiety on you. When in reality, you probably don't even want or care about the thing in the first place, and you didn't even know about it until someone online had it or said you need it. So in summary, what you want to do here is essentially write out 6 to 10, around probably 10 things that are high priority on your list of to do, for whether that be accomplishments or just actions. So for example, for me right now, I have revenue goals for my business. I have personal goals with my relationship, and I have just like leisure goals, like getting better at golf and stuff like that. So basically things that you're holding high priority that you want to achieve. in your life. And that is the first level of this, like, if you want to call it like a pyramid, upside down pyramid. That's the first level, is making a list of high priority tasks or goals, a list of things that you want to do above everything else. If you're unsure if something should be on the list, it shouldn't be on the list. These are things that you know for certain are a massive priority in your life. The next thing you want to do, so the next level of this, I guess, funnel, if you want to call it that, is going to be asking yourself, what do you want to do as soon as possible? And this is where we're going to go from high priority to time priority. Essentially asking yourself, what needs to be done now, or what matters to me now versus what can be accomplished later. Now, to preface this, I literally have it tattooed on my arm, memento mori. So I'm not someone that thinks that you should like push off life and over prepare life. But I also understand that like you can't do everything right now. You can do anything, but you can't do everything. And so frankly, there are some things that just need to be put off until the future. And doing this allows you to free up time to do the things that actually matter to you right now. So for example, maybe you really want to learn a new language, and that's great. And I fully support you doing that. But is that really more important than something else that needs to be accomplished right now? Like, is the extra hour a day that's going to be spent doing that, is it better spent doing that, or better spent doing something that's really going to push you forward and help you more quickly achieve the goals that you have set for yourself right now? So essentially what you want to do now is you want to eliminate the goals that you know you can push off until the future. Now, whether you want the future to be a year, 5 years, or like 10 years, that's up to you. But essentially, I just want you to remove the things that are not of high priority right now. I'll give you another example. If right now you are struggling financially, or you're just nowhere near your financial goals that you have set for yourself, spending time doing things that maybe you enjoy but are not moving you closer to that goal might not be the best things to focus on right now. Or maybe you have travel goals. So for example, if like you have a goal, maybe on your, list of high priority goals, you have my first $10,000 month with my creative business, and then you also have travel internationally 3 times a year. Obviously, you should want to travel internationally, but if you don't even have the money because you haven't hit your financial goal yet to do that, then maybe the financial goal should be the priority first. Money is not going to buy happiness, but it's surely going to buy you freedom. So you just have to basically ask yourself, what matters right now that I can best set myself up for the future for accomplishing these other things. So that's the second step of this funnel. So just to recap, we have our high priority list, so the big things that we want to do. And then below that, we now have our time priority list, so the things that we basically can't wait to do, the ones that we want to do as soon as possible. The next step of this list is going to be you're going to ask yourself essentially, when am I going to do these things? Now, I'm sure you guys have heard of task blocking. I'm sure you've heard of time blocking. And I know I said at the beginning of this video that this is not a time blocking or task blocking video, because it's not. But it's more so you need to actually know when you're going to do these things. When you don't have it put in your calendar of when you're going to work on goals or work on things or new habits or hobbies or whatnot, then it leaves room for you to give yourself an excuse not to do it. No matter how much you love something, there's going to be days you don't want to do it. I love playing golf. I love making videos. There's days where I don't stick to my habits and hobbies though, because I just don't feel like it. But when I wake up and it's in my calendar and I know when I'm going to do it, I'm much more likely to do it. So essentially in this step, all you want to do is you want to take that list of time priority activities from the previous step, which at this point should be 5 to 6. You probably don't want much more than 6. You don't want to spread yourself out too thin. The list might be shorter if certain activities take less or more time, right? But at this point, you probably want 4 to 6 things that are like of main priority right now for your life. And you're going to open up your calendar and you're going to look at your calendar and you're going to schedule out all of the things throughout your week. I personally like to make them recurring. So on the same days, so for example, one of the things I want to do is I want to get a lot better at golf because I spend way too much money to not be good at it. And so on the same days, every single week, I have it in my calendar that I'm going to go to the driving range at 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. That might sound tedious and silly, but when it's in your calendar, it makes it much more difficult for you to cancel on yourself and schedule things out into oblivion. I want you also to realize when you look at your calendar, how much time is already gone. If you work a 9 to 5, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., if not in some time before and after, is going to be taken up every single day. Sleep, you're going to be taking up 8 hours or more of your time sleeping. And then you also have time with family and your dinner and whatnot. And so the reason why I want you to open up your calendar and actually schedule these out is because I want you to realize just how frankly limited your time is and how valuable that time is, because it will make you understand why we do the time priority list. Because when you realize, I don't want to say just so much a little time, because I don't want you to make an excuse. I don't want there to be an excuse not to do it. Like, I don't have enough time, because we do have enough time. We just don't manage it well. But that doesn't mean you can do everything. So essentially what I'm trying to get is, I want you to take that time priority list, go into your calendar and schedule out the actual days and times you're going to do this. If this means that you want to, have a $10,000 month with your business, what is that going to look like? Well, it means you need to spend X amount of hours on your business every single week. Schedule that into your calendar. If you work a 9 to 5, schedule it from 6 to 8. I don't know, but you need to make sure that it is there, because when it's there and it's on your phone and you see it, it becomes a responsibility for you to do, and it makes it much more difficult for you then to cancel on yourself. So put it into your calendar every single week. So the final point of this funnel, which, and arguably the most important point of this entire funnel, of this strategy of doing more with what you have, is what is called, or what I call, taskable goal setting. So often people, myself included in the past, set goals, arbitrary goals with arbitrary timelines and deliverables, and then are disappointed when we do not hit those goals and do not achieve what we want to achieve. And we are left wondering, like, why? And we don't even know why we didn't do them, because we have no idea what we were even doing or what we needed to do to get there. I mean, if I told you right now, I want you to make $1 million, you'd be like, what the fuck? Like, how do I make $1 million? I have no idea where to start. And the reason is because it's an arbitrary goal. When you say you want to make a lot of money, or you want to I want to travel more, it's a great goal, right? Like, obviously you want to make more money, you want to travel more. But if you have no plan on how to get there, and you have no way to track your progress on your way of getting there, then the goal is pointless. It's not a goal, it's a dream. And so basically on this step is, I want you to look at your goals, or look at the things that you want to do. So for example, maybe this is read 50 books a year, have a $10,000 month with your business, and post 7 videos a week on Instagram. I don't know. The point there doesn't really matter. More so, you want to look at your goals and ask yourself, how can I break these down into actionable steps that I can then track my progress and iterate and improve upon and pivot, so that I know that I'm constantly making progress, right? If you know that you want to post 7 Instagram videos a week, then that means you need to write 7 scripts, you need to film 7 videos, you need to edit 7 videos, you need to generate 7 ideas. Okay, so now that you know that, where in my calendar can I put that? And once you know what you need to do, you can then track your progress towards that goal. And the same thing goes for revenue with your business, right? If you know you need to do $10,000 a month, maybe that means, if you want to do $10,000 a month on a $100 product, then maybe that means you need to have 10,000 website visits. I think that might be bad math, but basically you know that you need X amount of people to visit your web page or your landing page every single month. Well, then break that down by the week. Okay, now you know how many website visits you need a week. Well, how many pieces of content do I now need to post based off of my reach and my engagement to then get people to that website, right? And the reason why that is so important, and it might sound like way over the top, but it's because when you track every single step and you know exactly what you need to do to then accomplish the goal, when you aren't accomplishing that goal, you're not quite there yet, you can look all the way back down your process and be like, oh, I was posting enough content, I was getting enough reach, my landing page is not converting. Or maybe my landing page actually has an amazing conversion rate, but I'm just not posting enough content, or my content isn't getting enough reach. How can I then adjust that? You should have massive goals, but rather than focus on the goal, focus on the tasks that will get you there, that are trackable and can be actually turned into metrics so that you can improve and adjust accordingly. Success is a lagging indicator of growth. If all you are doing is focusing on the achievement down the road, you're completely missing the point, because the achievement will happen. The success that you want will happen when you focus on the daily activities to improve and be better. If I just think about running a marathon, I'm not going to run a marathon. But if I think about running every day and I'm making sure I'm consistent in my habits and my nutrition and my training, I'm going to get to that point inevitable. It's inevitable if I do the daily activities for me to get to that point, as long as I'm focusing on daily activities and not entirely on the end goal. By learning how to do more with your time, you will inevitably achieve more. Most of the time, people don't achieve what they want to achieve because their brains and their energy is not directed or focused on anything in particular. You're spread way too thin. You have the time, you're just not managing it properly. So be more intentional with your time, take advantage of the time that you have, and do more with the time that you have rather than doing more things with the time that you have. That's it for this week's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you want any feedback or have any questions about this kind of strategy that I use to essentially structure my entire life at this point, please feel free to comment down below. I'd love to kind of get feedback and direct you guys and help you guys out with what your guys doing. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed today's video, please comment, like, and subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys next Saturday. Peace.